In fact, you can build a blockchain on the Octopus Network in 2 days. The most important feature of a blockchain is security. We actually came very close between Solana and Near.
Hey guys, nice to meet you. It's All-Time High again, and today we're going to speak with Aaron Ting, Head of Marketing at Octopus Network. Aaron, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Kirill. Thank you very much for inviting me to your show.
Aaron, so I know you have wonderful experience, a great background. Can you just explain us more about what did you do previously and who you are?
Oh, that's a good question. I started in crypto about 9 years ago, 2013. I bought a miner, and since then I've been involved in the co-founding of a crypto association in Malaysia. We're the official association, so we deal with central banks, regulators, securities commission, and it's been an exciting journey because I got involved in regulatory consultations, including involvement in and assistance to the police force for some investigation, for some crypto scams. And also at the same time, I've been involved in projects for all these years. I would say 6-7 years, starting with NEM, Zcoin, Midas Protocol, which is a wallet, Vinex, which is an exchange. And now I work for Octopus Network, which is next generation multi-chain network, something similar to Polkadot and Cosmos, but different.
Yeah. I also wanted to ask you about one interesting fact about you. Maybe you didn't say it on your channel because guys, Aaron also has a YouTube channel. So can you share something with us like this?
Oh, okay, that's a good one. So yeah, I think I have to share that. I'm trying. I'm probably going through a midlife crisis right now. So I'm learning how to ride a bike, a big bike. So in Malaysia, we have a license where B2 only allows you to drive ride bikes up to 250 cc's. And right now I'm testing for my B4, which would allow me to ride, like, for example, a large Ducati Monster or Harley or BMW touring bike. Yeah, so yeah, that's probably midlife crisis, guys.
That's a good one. So yeah, let's start from discussing Octopus. Can you explain the idea behind it, like in simple words?
Oh, so in simple words, we are a multi-chain network that is utilizing existing and proven technologies. So from the Polkadot ecosystem, we are using a substrate, which is a very fantastic way to build a blockchain. In fact, you can build a blockchain on the Octopus Network in 2 days. The second technology that we work and contribute to is Cosmos IBC, which we believe is similar to Internet's TCP/IP, which means in order to facilitate efficient and safe communication between all the blockchains, there should be a standard. So IBC, they have something called ICS, which is interchain standard, and the protocol is called IBC, which is inter-blockchain communication. So this protocol is very important just because if you look at the number of bridge hacks, it is absolutely mind-boggling, and the numbers are crazy in terms of the money's lost. There's billions and billions of dollars that is lost. So we believe that with very more careful risk management and practices, and also the adoption of a standard, then all these problems will be less in the future. So this is what we hope. So our network also work with layer 1 because we believe that the hub should be a layer 1 where there's already composability for chains to execute DeFi. And if I may, I would like to show a picture. This is a picture of an underwater city. And the underwater city is, of course, the Octopus Network, right? Because, octopus is a sea creature. So in the middle here, you will see Near Protocol, and and this is where we reside. All these blockchains, all these cities, right, smaller cities surrounding Near, is actually our application chains. And these are substrate chains that's linked to Near Protocol as a side chain. So this is how we imagine a multi-chain network should be. So why is Near in the middle, and why are all these applications building their own chains surrounding Near and linked to Near? Is because Near is almost like a financial hub, like Ethereum. They're very fast and easy to use, layer one, and we're very confident in the security. But they're almost like Ethereum, where there's a lot of financial transaction that goes on. And when you have a lot of financial transaction that happens within the city, then obviously we can see that, for example, in New York, Manhattan, real estate prices are crazy. Why? Because there's people with a lot of money there, and in general, real estate price will go up. So it does not make sense, for example, to place let's say a plastic glove factory in the middle of Manhattan, for example. So this is the what we believe actually reflects in the blockchain world. So for transaction to be consistently cheap, and for applications such as DEIP, which is an NFT project in our network, to have a dedicated bandwidth where they can operate with very low fees, which will go through their own protocol, so they have an additional revenue, or they can even institute a zero fee regime, so that all the economy will be frictionless and everything will run smoothly, but securely at the same time. Further to that, I would like to demonstrate that, of course, you can see here, this is a very familiar Ethereum logo, and this is the rainbow bridge that connects Near to Ethereum. And Ethereum has layer twos, which are Polygon, Optimism, and so on. And also at the same time, you have other bridges, and these other bridges, for example, this bridge between A-Star and Osmosis is a bridge that our team is building under A-Star grant, and this is a IBC bridge. So as you can see, there's many multi-chain ecosystems or sharded layer ones, and right now all of them are being connected. And in the future, this will just, if you can just imagine, we just zoom out, and this will get larger and larger and larger, and this is how blockchain will scale. And it has to scale this way, because if we take all the Web2 activities and we translate that into Web3 and into blockchain transactions, then there will not be enough blockchain capacity to support. So the best way to do that is, of course, there's two ways. One is you can improve the capacity of existing blockchain, which tends to be very difficult. Or two, the much easier route, especially now with Polkadot Substrate, is to create your own chain and add that capacity as you need it.
And as far as I understand, the project is named Octopus because of this network of interconnected projects. Yeah.
Oh yes, it does look like a octopus.
Yeah,
And
sure.
the best part about the octopus is that 2/3 of the brain power of the octopus is actually distributed along the tentacles. So it is actually quite a good example of what we try to achieve.
Yeah, great. You're based on Near. Why did you decide to choose this blockchain?
Oh, this question actually was answered by our core team that started. I joined this project about 1.5 years ago, but more than 2 years ago, the founder, Louis Liu, came up with the idea of a multi-chain network. And the idea at that time was very simple, because they were also instructors in the first substrate training along with the Parity team. The idea at that time was that Polkadot has a limit of 100 parachain, and Kusama has a limit of 100 parachain. Beyond that, you need to have a parathread. But parathread is extremely limited because not all the transactions are broadcasted, and there are some protocols that cannot accept this. And yet, we are very bullish on the Polkadot ecosystem, and we can just see that with the number of developers being involved in learning, that there will be the issue of capacity. So this is the reason why we start on this project. Now, in order to execute this project, we needed to find a very fast, scalable, and easy to use layer one. Now, I'll put importance on easy to use, because most of the blockchains out there are not easy to build, easy to use. They're not easy to build. And this is something that Near has dedicated, as much as 20% of their engineering budget to fix. And we think this is one of the bottlenecks of Web3. So this is one of the reason. The other reason is that we actually came very close between Solana and Near. There's actually very critical security reasons why we choose Near over Solana. Even though at that time I believe Solana had very big backings, and I think that it was probably a top contender. But because of these issues, which are actually very well known by now, I don't have to elaborate on these issues. We decided to choose Near. So Near turned out to be a very good choice because the most important feature of a blockchain is security. If you do not have security, or if, let's say, in the proof of work world, if you if your chain is being hacked, and false transactions are being put through and being accepted, then your network is essentially broken, and the basic function of a blockchain would not be executed. So that's why we place a very high priority on security, and it's a very natural thing, because we are infrastructure company, and when we build bridges, we are extremely careful. There are many considerations, and it is something very dangerous to do. So as you can see from all the hacks, now we have enough hacks to have a reference. Most of the hacks comes from teams that are application teams, and we're not underestimating the capability, but we would just say that when your application project, your focus tends to be on different things, and there are things that you don't deal with normally that you perhaps overlook. So it's very easy to overlook a lot of important things. So that's why we believe that with Octopus Network, we take the work out of all the application teams. It is very clear they need their own blockchain, or it is very clear that the space needs to spin up new blockchain in order to scale. But when they do that, we want to take the work away from them. Now, of course, they can go to the other issue is actually very important, and this issue has to do with sovereignty. What does it mean, sovereignty? It just means that, for example, a nation state is governed by its own people under its own governance system, and they have the right to decide their own future. So there's a lot of multi-chain coming up, maybe with BNB or Avalanche subnet, which is very interesting as well. And I guess a lot of applications are looking to build on that, and there's no issue. But they must not forget one very important thing, and that is sovereignty. Because in the Octopus Network system, because this app chain is built using Substrate, they have the sovereignty and the right to leave Octopus and to become their own independent chain at any time. And they can also choose to join Polkadot or Kusama if their governance wishes to. Yeah. And this is very important, because you do not want to tie yourself to a blockchain that may be outdated in the future, for example. And that is not a very good thing to have. So this is how far the space has gone. All these things are available for every app chain. We provide many tools, indexers, RPCs. We even set up validators. Our validator setup is very simple, and even our substrate chain setup is much more simpler than Polkadot. So that's why you can do it in 2 days time. And it also comes with EVM, so you don't necessarily need to have a very deep substrate knowledge from day one. You can actually develop that over time, and you can use sort of like your existing Solidity code, but later on just slowly transfer. Yeah.
How is the project, the idea of the project is interconnected with Kusama, Polkadot, and Cosmos? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, so basically in the multi-chain world, there's a lot of work that's being done on so-called public goods. So for example, when Polkadot created Substrate, it is a public good. Anyone can use this code. It's open source. And the same goes for Cosmos when they create the IBC. So officially, we have the official Cosmos grant. We finished milestone 4 recently. And once we're done with this, anybody can use it. That means any substrate chain can adopt this IBC palette and use it, and we will not have any fees or any benefit from this. Yeah. So and this is very important to our space. There are some projects that are closed source, and we absolutely do not believe in such projects, especially when some founders even go to the extent of trying to patent some technologies. This is a very opposite of our philosophy. Our philosophy is open source, and everybody should be able to contribute. Everybody should be able to take a technology and further develop it so that everybody can use it. So this is what we do, and this is why we don't try to reinvent the wheel. If Near is a very secure layer 1 protocol, we work with Near. And when we work with Near, we make it, and we know one of the Near's greatest strength is that they're highly scalable. They're almost infinitely scalable. Every shard has 800 TPS, so there's unlimited amount of shard that can be spun up. So we are also unlimited. That means that Octopus Network can grow to potentially 1,000 chains or 10,000 chains, when Web3 is mature. Yes, and this is how we see ourselves. We are just the so-called the glue that puts everything together, this multi-chain world together, and our token is a very simple token that the main purpose of this token is to provide security for the app chain. What does it mean? It means that if you want to have an app chain, number one, you must pass voting by Octopus token holders, and number two, when you spin up your app chain, you need to spin up a validator on Near as a smart contract, and with that, you need to stake OCT token. But we do not have any elements of like for example, if you stake and you have a staking reward, with our OCT token, we do not have any concept like that. The reason why is actually quite simple. So hear me out. So for example, in the Polkadot ecosystem, if you stake Polkadot and if you earn, let's say 15% per year, when you stake Polkadot, then if a parachain comes along and they want to incentivize you to stake dots to support their token, obviously the rate that they offer you cannot be below 15%, because if it's below 15%, you'll just go like, well, I'll just take my dot, thank you very much, it's a higher rate. So the baseline is higher, so they have to offer something like 20-30% return, which also means that the emission of these tokens of the parachains is very high, right? But of course, it benefits the dot holders, right? So we don't have that on purpose, because when we don't have any reward for OCT staking by itself using OCT reward, the baseline is zero. It's completely zero. So when the baseline is completely zero, it is better for the app chain. It's a sacrifice that we make for the app chain, because when the app chain comes and let's say the app chain say, I will offer you 2%, something very ridiculously low, let's say 2% or 3%. OCT token holders might say, well, I believe in your project because of certain reasons, I love it. Yes, I'm willing to stake my token, even though the return is 2%, for example. Yeah, but I do not have to deal with the inflation of the token supply, which is another calculation that you need to make in the Polkadot ecosystem. And because of that, our token is, I would say, a very honest token. It only has one function. And of course, the other function is governance, which is a huge topic. Our founder has an internal proposal for this, and we hope to see this internal proposal being revealed in a very near future, hopefully in the next 1 or 2 months.